Well, I thought I'd do a real quick video here showing my next project. It's this bad boy. These are the defective PipBoy 3000s that everybody got burned on from whoever they bought it from. I'm not even going to name the name, but they all kind of suffered the same problem where you'd power it up, it would start to load, and then would just stop at a particular loading screen and never advance past that. They've all failed. The majority have failed in the very same way. And so what I was doing was attempting to reverse engineer the interface to get in there and download the code and try to correct the problem. This USB port that's accessed through the back seems to do nothing, so I think it requires either a soft or hardware key to activate it, something we're never going to get our hands on. This port looked kind of promising, but no matter what Atmel tool I used, couldn't seem to get anything usable from it. The external USB that you plug into to charge the battery doesn't have any kind of access to the code either, so I'm done dealing with this card and just going to move on to something a little bit more hopeful. I've gotten a hold of the display that they use in the PipBoy prop. It's the exact 5-inch 4:3 aspect ratio, 640 by 480 display that's used in the prop, and my good friend R. Warren has managed to create some promising code. Let me here cycle this real quick, and we'll show what it does. Now, I thought he had told me, and I could have misunderstood, that he had come up with a way to put all the loading in the background so you wouldn't see it. I doubt very much he's referring to just a black screen. I will talk to him at work and find out exactly what he meant. I could very well be doing the wrong thing, but anyways, here we go. When it starts running, there we go, it simulates the loading just like it does in the prop, and there we go. And then you see the PipBoy character. Now this has got to be centered. He did this without the benefit of this screen, so that's why through the HDMI port it seems to be out of scale and to the left. I'm running it right now on a full-size Raspberry Pi. This I don't want to go with because it's just too big and bulky. I'd have to take the two USB ports and the Ethernet port off, and I still would have this. This is a HDMI to SVGA converter that I've pulled the connector off and hardwired the cable so I could interface it with the display driver for this display, of which I've got two different versions of this card. I've got this large, and then I've got one that's literally half the size. I'm going to save those smaller displays for other projects where space is a little bit tighter in this prop. That's not, I think, going to be a problem, because this will mount directly on the back side of the display, and if I do go with this, I will be shrinking this down. I don't want to go with this. I'd rather go with this, which is the Raspberry Pi Zero. The downside to this is it uses a HDMI mini, and I'd have to again go in and convert and modify this little dongle to work here, or I can just go with what I'm doing here, which is the composite video output that I have going into this input. So let's very quickly here change this over, and let's demonstrate what it does, which is pretty much the same thing, but the advantage is it's just simpler. There we go. And there we go. Okay. And again, the loading isn't dependent on whether I'm using a full-size Raspberry Pi or the Raspberry Pi Zero. Still takes about 20 seconds for the display to come on and start running the PipBoy script, simulated script. So again, I might be doing something wrong, or I could have misunderstood. Now the nice thing about the composite video, composite video, is the character, everything is displayed or centered within the screen. I do pick up a slight bit of video jitter here. Could be the interface is a little bit noisy. I don't care. It kind of gives a nice analog to the screen. The future goal here is hopefully R. can go in and activate these icons in his software through these ports on the Raspberry Zero, and then I can go in and interface them with the switches that are already in the prop. That's my goal, at least, to make these all actually work. I do have some crappy AM radios that I'm going to put in here so that this will be functional. I'm going to change this from direct to a nice little reduction gear so that you turn this and this moves a little bit slower. There's a couple of guys, Zapworld did a beautiful job with this particular interface here. I'd also like to put in an actual meter movement in here and create a Geiger counter effect there. This is going to be a fun project, and I'm really looking forward to what my friend R. can do, and then what I can then do electronically to get this to work. I've got a couple of these that I'm going to be using, and I hope to buy some more. So if you guys got any dead PipBoy 3000s, put them up on eBay, ask a reasonable price, and I mean less than, hopefully less than $200, and I'll take them off your hands. So I'm gonna run a real quick demo here, close up with the text running in the screen here, so stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. It's booting up as we speak. Again, I could very well be doing something wrong here. I thought it was going to show some PipBoy jargon while the code is actually loading in the background. But to be this far along, I'm very impressed with what's going on here. Here we go. All right, all right, all right. And we're there. As I say, what I'm hoping we can do is make all of these icons here work with the switches that are in the prop. Shouldn't be too hard to do, but I'm the electronics person. My friend R. Warren is the software genius, so we'll see how we can coordinate this to actually end up with some functioning props here. So, like, I need another project with everything else that I'm doing, but this is something I want to do. I just love these retro ARM gadgets. So stay tuned. See you later. Bye.